Welcome and happy Bo Melton Day. It's official. Bo Melton Day today. We are picking up Bo Melton. We are starting Bo Melton. Christian Watson's out. Dontavian Wicks is going to start, which is great. He's a nice sleeper as well. But he's not really a sleeper. Everybody knows about Dontavian Wicks. And then we got Romeo Doubs. Romeo Doubs, the one guy in the league who can't afford to not take advantage of his opportunities. He decides to throw a temper tantrum, thinking that he is this superstar, alpha, diva wide receiver, and just throws a fit. And, it's like, fuck this. I'm not playing. I'm not coming to practice. You're not throwing me the ball. I'm Justin Jefferson. Throw me the fucking ball. No, bro. No. Romeo. You're no Justin Jefferson. You're no CeeDee Lamb. You're no Jamar Chase. You're Romeo freaking Doubs. What are you doing? This is your opportunity. I mean, you're on the field all year. I mean, he's running the most routes. He's taking the most snaps. I don't understand. He's just not good. He's just not good at football. We knew this. We've known this for years. Romeo Doubs is not a good wide receiver. That's why you're not getting the ball, bro. That's why you're not getting the ball. But that takes me away from the bigger point I want to make, and that is we are starting Bo Melton today. It's Bo Melton Day. Bo Melton Day. I mean, if you just look back at the sample from last year, Bo Melton, when Christian Watson and Jaden Reed were out in week 16, he had 6 targets. He got 444. The next week, they ramped him up. Even with Reed back, Watson was out. He had 9 targets, caught 6 passes for 105 yards and a touchdown. And then they ramped him up even more. He went from 66% of the snaps up to 75% of the snaps. He had 7 targets, caught 5 for 62. This is a guy who when he's on the field, he's commanding targets. Bo Melton commands targets. He makes plays. Looking back at last year, Romeo Doubs, he only ran 91 routes. He's in a limited role. But on those 91 routes, he accumulated 244 yards on 18 catches, two touchdowns. He was second in the NFL in yards per route run with 2.68. That's incredible. And he was targeted on a third of his routes. 1 out of 3 routes that Bo Melton ran last year resulted in him being targeted. That's 32%. That is an insane number. So Bo Melton is going to be on the field a lot today with no Romeo Doubs, with no Christian Watson. He's going to be the one starting opposite Dontavian Wicks in 2 wide receiver sets. Because Jaden Reed is the slot guy. They play Jaden Reed in the slot. So it's going to be Wicks on one side, and it's going to be Melton on the other side, Reed in the slot. And that is going to mean we're going to get a lot of Bo Melton opportunities. And as I just noted, when Bo Melton gets opportunities, he takes advantage. So we are playing Bo Melton. If you need a flex play, you got bye weeks, you got injuries, pick up Bo Melton right now on your waiver wire. Start him. Let's go. All right. So we are all obviously here to answer start sit questions. I always tell the TikTok audience, we get a ton of questions on TikTok. So if you want to take those, come over to the YouTube channel where we get fewer questions. I can actually see your questions coming in because they get lost. They get lost in all the questions on TikTok. So if you just find Yards Per Fantasy on YouTube, come on over, subscribe, like the show, ask your question. I guarantee I will answer it. The link is in the TikTok bio, Yards Per Fantasy on YouTube. All right, let's see what we got. There's one other sleeper that I want to get to, but I want to get to a couple questions first. But we do have one other sleeper that I do want to make note of. Josh Downs or Dontavian Wicks. I do like both of these guys this week. I think we gotta still go Wicks, but I do feel very comfortable playing Josh Downs. I mean, in the 2 games that he's been back from his injury, he's received a really, healthy target share. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it's a healthy target share, both games. And now we have Joe Flacco playing today, which is definitely going to uplift not Bo Melton. I got Bo Melton on the brain. It's going to uplift Michael Pittman and Josh Downs in that offense. So I do like Downs. However, we are going to go Dontavian Wicks. I have Dontavian Wicks as my wide receiver 28 this week. Josh Downs, just a few spots below him at wide receiver 32. These are both very solid wide receiver 3 plays for week 5. All right, let's get this question from YouTube. Should I start Brian Thomas Jr. over Tyreek Hill as a flex? Oh my God. But this is the point. This is where we're at with Tyreek Hill right now. This is where we're at. I mean, you probably should. I mean, you're doing it knowing that at any moment Tyreek Hill could go off. He could get that big play. But Brian Thomas going against the Colts, who are very, very susceptible to wide receivers, especially these outside wide receivers, these guys who go down the field and make plays like a Brian Thomas. They're very, very susceptible to that. So I think Brian Thomas is an excellent start this week. I probably would make that move. I would. Knowing what that Tyreek Hill could kill you. He could hurt you by not playing him. But sometimes we just got to take that risk because it's not happening with Tyler Huntley. I mean, Patriots defense is pretty good. Their offense is terrible. It's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be just like the Thursday night game, the Titans and the Dolphins. Was it Thursday night or was it Monday night? That was Monday night. It was terrible game. I think this could be something similar, which really worries me for what are we getting from Tyreek Hill. I don't like it. So this is a great spot for Brian Thomas. I would play him. All right, what else we got? We got Wan'Dale Robinson or Zay Flowers. We're definitely going Zay Flowers. I know Malik Neighbors is out, but let's play Zay Flowers. Brian Thomas or Wan'Dale Robinson. We're definitely playing Brian Thomas there as well. Wan'Dale Robinson, he can get there. He can compile a bunch of targets. But he has no ceiling. He has no upside. He's not a guy who's catching balls down the field. He's catching these short passes, just getting there on pure volume. That's not really the type of guy I want to play if I have an alternative like a Brian Thomas, like a playmaker wide receiver who can actually give you that 6 catch, 120 yard and 2 touchdown type of game. That's what I want. All right. Kobe Parkinson or David Njoku? Man, that's a tough one because we're getting Njoku back, but they've already made it clear he's going to be limited. Kobe Parkinson doesn't really do much anyway, right? Going against Commanders for Njoku, it's a really good matchup, but I don't know how much he's going to play. It's a really tough one. Let me just pull up the rankings, see what I have him. I do think we probably go Njoku. Let's just go Njoku because a limited Njoku is basically Kobe Parkinson anyway. So Tyreek Hill or Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's go Marvin Harrison Jr. there for sure. Get this one from Paul Reed on YouTube. Higgins or JSN. We're going T Higgins. Let's go T Higgins. Yeah, T Higgins over JSN. Connor or Sermon. We got to go James Conner there. We got to go James Conner. I do like Sermon, but he's just a guy who's going to get there on volume if he's going to get there. I do think it's nice that Joe Flacco is going to be out there. I think the offense will be a little bit more productive, a little bit more efficient. That could help, more red zone opportunities, more touchdown opportunities. And certainly if they do get down inside the 5-yard line, we have no risk of Joe Flacco pulling the ball down and running it in himself. That's not happening like it could with Anthony Richardson. So, but with that said, I'm going to start James Conner over Trey Sermon. Brian Thomas Jr. or Najee Harris. Definitely Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson, he's good to go. He's coming off the knee injury, but he's good to go. Najee Harris has been about as bad as any starting running back in the NFL this year. Just really bad. Even though he has the backfield all to himself, I'd rather just play Brian Robinson. He's been so good this year. Andrea is asking, should I start Josh Downs or Wan'Dale Robinson? I think we got to go. I know Malik Neighbors is out. It's going to mean we're going to get Wan'Dale Robinson peppered with targets, but we were just talking about that where even on the volume, Wan'Dale Robinson doesn't have that upside, doesn't have that ceiling. Josh Downs can make some plays. Josh Downs can score 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? With Joe Flacco at quarterback, I really do like that Colts passing game today. So I am going to go with Josh Downs over Wan'Dale Robinson. Randy's asking in Superflex, should I start Matthew Stafford, Joe Flacco, or Andy Dalton? These all three are kind of. Joe Flacco and Andy Dalton are kind of like the waiver wire darlings you want to pick up if you need to throw somebody in there. Stafford has no weapons right now. The Packers defense is pretty solid, but they're gonna have to keep up with Jordan Love on the other side, so they're gonna have to throw the ball a little bit more than probably they would like. So I do have them ranked: Flacco QB 18, Andy Dalton QB 21, Stafford QB 23. So I am going to go Joe Flacco. That game, Colts Jaguars, could turn into one of these sneaky little shootout type of games. The Colts defense can't stop anybody. And I think Joe Flacco is going to be better for the Colts offense overall than Anthony Richardson has been so far this season. So I'm going to start Joe Flacco there. And he's got good weapons. Michael Pittman, I know he hasn't done much with Anthony Richardson, but he was awesome last year with Gardner Minshew. I think he's going to be awesome again today. He was awesome last week with Joe Flacco. Why wouldn't he be awesome again today? Ray here is asking, start 3 in standard scoring, but 6 points per touchdown. Deontay Johnson versus Bears, Brandon Ayuk versus the Cardinals, Kareem Hunt, Pittman, or pick up Wan'Dale Robinson against the Seahawks. So we're starting 3 of these guys. So we definitely want to start Deontay Johnson. We definitely want to start Brandon Ayuk. So it comes down to, are we going to start Kareem Hunt on Monday Night Football? Are we going to start Michael Pittman, or are we going to start Wan'Dale Robinson? I can tell you right now, we are not going to start Wan'Dale Robinson, so we can remove him from this conversation. So that gives us Kareem Hunt or Michael Pittman. And I think the way we just talked about the Colts offense with Joe Flacco, I think it's wheels up for Michael Pittman. I think we can feel comfortable and confident starting Michael Pittman just like we were last year when it was Gardner Minshew at quarterback. So that's what I'm going to do. So it's Deontay, it's Brandon Ayuk, and it's Michael Pittman for me. Let's get this one from Isaiah. Isaiah is asking, pick one of these guys: Josh Downs, Trey Sermon, or Wan'Dale Robinson. We got to pick one. I think we're going to go Josh Downs. Same. We just keep talking about this Colts. Keep talking about Joe Flacco. If Joe Flacco falls flat on his face today, I'm going to have to wear a bag on my head for next week's show. But I think we're all in on the Colts passing game today. Well, let's go Josh Downs. Trey McBride playing. Should we play him over Ertz? Yeah, let's play Trey McBride. If Trey McBride is playing, we are playing him. Trey McBride is active. We are playing him. Should we go Trey Sermon or Jerome Ford? I think we got to go Jerome Ford here. I think we got to go Ford. Just a much better matchup going against the Commanders. We know what his role is at this point in the season. Trey Sermon is more of a projection, filling in for Josh Downs. I mean, not Josh Downs, Jonathan Taylor. We're going to see some Tyler Goodson in that backfield. So let's go Jerome Ford over Trey Sermon. I only have them 2 spots apart in the rankings. Ford 19, Trey Sermon RB21, but I do feel more comfortable going with Jerome Ford here. Should we start panicking on Breece Hall? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, a little bit. I mean, we've got these 3 backfields where we've got, Bucky Irving, is just a big thorn in the side for Rachaad White. Tyler Algier is becoming a big thorn in the side for Bijan Robinson, and Braylon Allen might just be the starter at some point because he is outplaying Breece Hall right now. Now, I don't know. I haven't paid complete attention to this game this morning. I do have it on right here. We have 3 minutes to go. Jets going to try to go down and win this game with a touchdown. But, I mean, looking at the snap shares and stuff, the snap shares have, over the first 4 weeks, have been pretty steady, with Breece Hall still getting right about 70% of the snaps. And he's on pace to have, about a ton of targets, ton of catches, which is good. I feel good about that. Although I haven't seen him catch a single pass in this game from the time that I've been watching. Panic. We're not quite panic, but we're damn close. We're damn close. I mean, if the panic button is right here, we are hovering right over the button for sure. Just the offense, just the overall Jets offense doesn't look good. I think Breece Hall, I mean, if he was in a good offense that maybe we thought the Jets could be, it would be a lot better. But this is why we were drafting, Justin Jefferson. This is why we were drafting Jamar Chase. This is why we were drafting Amon-Ra St. Brown, not Bijan Robinson and Breece Hall over those guys. So this is what we get. I mean, Breece Hall was a projection. Bijan Robinson was a projection. We know what these wide receivers are. Just draft the wide receivers in the first round, man. Isaiah is asking Michael Pittman or Amari Cooper. So as much as I do like the Colts passing game this week, I am going to go Amari Cooper. Cooper, I mean, he has this fantastic matchup against the Commanders. The Commanders have been just Swiss cheese as a defense. Wide receivers can take full advantage of that defense. And I mean, they might. Amari Cooper, he struggles when you put him out against a good secondary, an alpha corner, right? When you get one of these stud shutdown corners, don't count on getting much fantasy points from Amari Cooper. But when he has these opportunities against these Swiss cheese defenses, against these weak secondaries like the Commanders, that's when he goes off. Especially now on the other side, we have a good quarterback in Jaden Daniels. The offense for the Commanders is good. So the Browns are going to have to keep up with that. They're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to score points. They're going to have to try to keep up with the Commanders' offense, which is just better for us who are starting Amari Cooper. So yes, I am going to start Amari Cooper over Michael Pittman, even though I do like Pittman this week. Trey McBride or Tucker Kraft. I am going to go Trey McBride, but I do have Tucker Kraft well inside my top 10 tight ends this week. I'm starting him over guys like, obviously we're starting him over Mark Andrews. I do have a league where I am starting Tucker Kraft over Mark Andrews. I mean, talk about panic button. Mark Andrews, that one we are hitting the panic button on for sure. We're not dropping him quite yet, but we're a couple weeks away. We're a week or two away from making that move. But yeah, Tucker Kraft, definitely in on Tucker Kraft. I feel good about that one because I feel like I've been, over the last year or so, I've been one of the only fantasy analysts who talk about Tucker Kraft. Like, Tucker Kraft is good, man. Tucker Kraft is good. And I did like Luke Musgrave as well. Big Luke Musgrave fan. But Tucker Kraft is more of your complete tight end. He's more of your, he can block, he can run routes. He's not one of these guys that, we're going to play him in the slot like a big wide receiver. And everybody, the fantasy community, they love when they hear that. Oh, this guy's going to run a ton of routes. He's going to basically be a big slot wide receiver. He's not going to be in line, staying in and blocking at all. No, that's the guys who are in line are getting the matchups. They're on the field more, for one, but they're getting matched up against linebackers, not nickel corners. Come on. This is why Kyle Pitts up until this week has been a nothing burger. Nothing. That's why. So, yeah, I do like Tucker Kraft. All that to tell you, I do like Tucker Kraft, yet we're sitting him in favor of Trey McBride. Brock Purdy or Jaden Daniels at quarterback. We got to go Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is on an absolute tear right now. He gives you that rushing production. So even if he has a bad game passing, he's still going to get you there. I have him as my QB3 this week. Brock Purdy, I do have in my top 5 as well, though. But we are playing Jaden Daniels. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. So like I always tell the TikTok audience, if you want me to see your questions, because we get a ton on TikTok, jump over to the Yards Per Fantasy YouTube channel. The link is right in the TikTok bio. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ask your questions in here. We get a lot less questions on YouTube. So it's much more likely that I'm going to see your questions. I'll guarantee I'll be able to get to it and answer it. Let's go Michael Pittman or DeAndre Swift. Swift had a nice game last week. He did, finally. But I'm going to go Michael Pittman. Yeah, with Flacco, we're going to go Pittman. I need to see it again. I need to see it again from DeAndre Swift if I'm going to trust him in my lineups. And I don't know if we're going to get that again. Even though he has a good matchup against Panthers, I still expect we're going to get Roschon at some point in a much more significant role. Wan'Dale Robinson or Terry McLaurin. This is like an overthinking type of question. This is Terry McLaurin. Why are we even asking this? Terry McLaurin. Olave or Brian Thomas Jr. I do like Brian Thomas Jr. I do, but I can't start him over Chris Olave. Let's go Chris Olave. Flowers or Jennings? Why? This is Jawan Jennings? Like, why are we even asking? Why? Say Flowers. Jawan Jennings was a nice, fun play when Kittle was out and Deebo Samuel are out. Well, guess what? Deebo Samuel's playing, George Kittle's playing, and Jawan Jennings reverts back to the background. He's not a main character in that offense. Only when the guys are injured. Rylan is asking Christian Kirk, Xavier Worthy, or DeAndre Swift in a PPR. I do want to go Christian Kirk here. I'm going to go Christian Kirk. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Javonte Williams, Cam Akers. We're going to pick 2 of these guys. Jeudy, Sutton, Javonte, Akers. Pick 2. This is gross. This is disgusting. This is nasty. I guess we got to go Sutton, and I guess we go Cam Akers. Hope that he falls into the end zone for a touchdown and a good offense. Let's do that. That's gross. Javonte or Travis Etienne. It's Travis Etienne. Olave or Sermon. Let's go Chris Olave. James Cook or Dontavian Wicks. Some of these questions, you guys are overthinking it. Just play James Cook, man. Just James Cook. Please just play James Cook. I do like Dontavian Wicks, but come on. Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton. Let's go Cortland Sutton. Wan'Dale Robinson or Marvin Harrison Jr. Chat, just can you answer that one? Chat, come on. Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's go. Come on. Marvin Harrison Jr. over Wan'Dale Robinson, please. Stephon Diggs or Jaden Reed. We got to go Jaden Reed. We got to go Jaden Reed. Going against the Rams. The Rams are a terrible defense. No Romeo Dobbs. Not that makes a difference for Jaden Reed anyway. No Christian Watson. Same deal. But Jaden Reed, man, this is gonna be a full focused Jaden Reed game plan. Let's go Jaden Reed, please. Over Stephon Diggs. Kraft or McBride? Let's go McBride. We already answered that question earlier. We are going to go McBride, even though I do like Tucker Kraft. Amari Cooper or Chris Olave? Fantastic matchup this week, man. Fantastic matchup this week for Amari Cooper, but I think we got to go Chris Olave. That was tough. We'll lean Olave. Eckler or Madison? Okay. All right. I think we could go Austin Eckler, though. I think we're going to go Eckler. I mean, Madison's interesting, given that Zamir White is out. Let me just pull up the rankings. I do believe I have Austin Eckler ranked ahead of him. I do. Just a few spots, though. Just a few spots. Eckler, RB31. Alexander Madison, RB34. So we are going to go Austin Eckler over Alexander Madison. But Madison's interesting if you need a deep guy. Dontavian Wicks or Deontay Johnson? We're going to go Deontay Johnson. Adonai Mitchell or Jalen Waddle? Let's go Jalen Waddle, I guess. Do you have anybody else? I don't want to play either one of those guys. I don't want to play either one. Shit, I might just go Adonai Mitchell and just say, fuck it. Ramondre Stevenson or Dare Ogunbowale. Let's go Ramondre. I know the report is that Antonio Gibson's going to get the start. That doesn't mean that he's just going to be the bell cow. It just means that Ramondre isn't going to start the game. He's not going to be on there the first snap. So I still expect this to be a split backfield. It's still an ugly backfield, gross offense, gross matchup. It's just a gross game. I don't remember the question, but I think we are going Ramondre. Yeah, Ramondre over Ogunbowale, please. Cortland Sutton or Jordan Whittington. That one's interesting, but I still think we go Cortland Sutton. Cole Kmet or David Njoku. Let's go Cole Kmet. I think Njoku is going to be pretty limited in this game. Dak or Kyler. Let's go Dak. I think we're going to go Dak Prescott over Kyler Murray. If Kyler couldn't get there last week against the Commanders, that was the game. If Kyler is going to be what we drafted him to be, that was the game for him to beat it. So at this point, Dak has a tough matchup against the Steelers, but I think we lean Dak there, unfortunately. Worthy or Xavier Legette? Which rookie Xavier are we playing? Worthy or Legette? I still think we got to go Worthy. I do. I want to see more from Legette. I've never been a Legette guy. I don't like Legette. He was this guy who didn't produce shit at college until his 5th year. He seems to be emerging with a pretty decent role. Obviously, Andy Dalton's breathed life into that offense. But I still think I want to go Worthy over Legette. I need to see more. I need more from Legette before I'm convinced. Jerome Ford or Travis Etienne? I got to pull the rankings up for this one. This one's probably pretty close. Yeah, I got Etienne a few spots ahead of Ford, so let's go Etienne. The Colts are a pretty good matchup. The Colts are not a good defense. Not that the Commanders are either. But I think it's more likely that we see like a big run from Travis Etienne than we do from a Jerome Ford. JSN or Wan'Dale Robinson? Lots of Wan'Dale Robinson questions today. I think I've told you to sit Wan'Dale on every one of them. So if Wan'Dale goes out and has a Malik Neighbors level game, which he won't, I promise you, I'm going to have to retire. However, pulling up the rankings, I do have Jackson Smith and Jigba ranked 4 or 5 spots ahead of Wan'Dale Robinson. So we are going to go Jackson Smith and Jigba over Wan'Dale Robinson. Jerome Porter, Devon Achane. Let's go Devon Achane. I mean, we got these backup quarterbacks in Miami. And what do backup quarterbacks do best? They check the ball down to their running backs. That's what they do. Every backup quarterback in the NFL will check it down to the running backs. And that's what we're banking on today. So let's go with Devon Achane there. Josh Downs or Dontavian Wicks in the flex. I like both of these guys this week. I do have Wicks ranked just a few spots ahead. I think it's a 4-spot difference. Wicks is my wide receiver 28. Josh Downs my wide receiver 32. So we are going to go Wicks over Josh Downs. But I do like them both. I do like them both this week. Brian Robinson or Austin Eckler. Brian Robinson for sure. That's an easy one. Flex one of these guys. Brandon Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, Dontavian Wicks. I think we got to go Deontay. He's the one who's producing right now. It's going to happen at some point for Brandon Ayuk. I think it's going to finally click at some point. But it hasn't happened yet. And it is clicking right now for Deontay Johnson with Andy Dalton. So let's go Deontay there. Pickens, Kirk, or Wan'Dale Robinson. Throw Wan'Dale Robinson out the door there. So it's down to either George Pickens or Christian Kirk. I guarantee they're pretty close in my rankings. Let me pull it up. Yeah, I got Pickens as wide receiver 20 against Dallas. Christian Kirk as wide receiver 24 against the Colts. So they're both wide receiver 2s. I am going to go with George Pickens. Cam Akers or Zach Moss. Let's go Zach Moss. Chase Brown or Ramondre Stevenson. This one's a tough one because we saw Chase Brown. His role kind of shifted last week. He had an explosive game. Finally, what we were waiting for from Chase Brown. Ramondre, we got the news where he's not going to start, but he's going to play. But how much is he going to play? And it's a bad offense and ugly game. It's just going to be one of these gross ones where there's like maybe 20 points combined between the two teams. I think I do have Ramondre. I got to pull up the rankings. I think I do have Ramondre one spot ahead of Chase Brown, but you know what? I usually like to lean ceiling there. I want the guy who could go out there and maybe win the week for us. Not that I'm expecting that or projecting that from Chase Brown, but I think it would be more likely for him to do that than Ramondre. So I have Ramondre RB24, Chase Brown RB25 in my rankings. I think I am going to make the flip, though, and I think I'm going to tell you to start Chase Brown. I think that's what I would do. Xavier Worthy or Josh Downs. Man, it's really tough to sit Josh Downs with Joe Flacco at quarterback. I mean, he's had the target share the last 2 weeks since he's been back from his injury. And Xavier Worthy is kind of a projection now that Rashee Rice is out. Is his role going to get ramped up? We've seen 2 good weeks from Worthy, 2 kind of stinker weeks from Worthy. I do have Worthy ranked 3 spots ahead of Josh Downs, but if you want a floor play, if you want the guy who is much more likely to get there for you, I think that would be Josh Downs. Dak or Kyler, I think we go Dak there. Raheem Mostert or Alvin Kamara. I mean, if Kamara is playing, which he could be a game time decision, we have to go Kamara, of course. And I don't think Raheem Mostert is going to be good enough for you to say, oh, let's play it safe and play Mostert over Kamara. I don't think we do that. I think we just play Kamara. I do believe he's going to play. So please play Alvin Kamara over Raheem Mostert, please. Cam Akers or Brian Robinson. This is Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson is absolutely killing it this year. I know he's coming off that knee injury, but if he's good to go, he's good to go. We're playing Brian Robinson. Deontay Johnson or Dontavian Wicks. Let's go Deontay Johnson. JSN or Higgins. Let's go Higgins. Dowdle or Sermon. Let's go Trace Sermon. And that brings us to 1 o'clock. I want to get this last one here on YouTube real quick. Start one of these running backs, 1 wide receiver, and 1 flex between Moss, Hunt, Downs, Eckler, Keenan Allen, or Juwan Jennings. So let's go. Let's start with the running backs. Let's go. I think we got to go Moss over Hunt and Eckler. I Yeah, let me just pull up the rankings here because I think Moss and Hunt are probably pretty close for me. Yeah, let's go Zach Moss. They're 2 spots apart. Let's go Zach Moss. He's my RB20 this week. Now we need a flex. I think for the flex, I'm gonna assume this is PPR. So I think let's. I mean, the safer play is probably Kareem Hunt, but I really do like Josh Downs. So I'm gonna play Josh Downs in the flex. Oh, you know what? No, I take that back. We're gonna play Kareem Hunt in the flex, and we'll play Josh Downs at wide receiver. I think we can play Josh Downs ahead of Keenan Allen and Juwan Jennings. So we're gonna go Zach Moss in the RB spot, Kareem Hunt in the flex spot, and Josh Downs in the wide receiver spot. All right, that brings us to the end of this show. I appreciate everybody who tunes in and asks questions, engages with the show. We have a bunch of content every week on the Yards Per Fantasy YouTube channel, on yardsperfantasy.com, videos, other live shows all throughout the week, articles on the website. We got a trade calculator, rankings, start sit tool. If I didn't get to your questions, make sure you hit me up in the Yards Per Fantasy Discord channel. You can find my rankings at yardsperfantasy.com. We have a start sit tool at yardsperfantasy.com. We got a trade calculator at yardsperfantasy.com. Check out everything that we're doing there. And I appreciate everybody and enjoy the games and good luck today.